So welcome back to my kitchen, and I really wanted to share with you 3 very simple but delicious picnic recipes that you can put together in just a few minutes and serve to really delight your guests. Now, picnics can be very simple affairs. You can make sandwiches, snacks, easy things, but I really wanted to have a bit of a special picnic because we've been locked down for over a year. We haven't really been having social occasions, so now that we're allowed to go out and meet in groups of 6 here in the UK, I really wanted to do that and create a very special occasion. So the recipes that I'm going to share are super simple. For example, the first recipe that we're doing, which are little tarts. I've pre-bought the tarts because this is supposed to be easy, not stressful. It's all about having fun and creating some delicious food and memories. So I hope that you will enjoy them. The first thing we're going to do is take this creme fraiche, and to it we're going to add in some sunblush tomato. And you know me, I absolutely love tomato, so this is a favourite of mine. And then we're going to take some chopped basil, sprinkle this into here, and now we are going to just mix it all together. Doesn't have to be perfect, just mix it up like this so that we get a nice mixed consistency with all of the different colours and flavours, textures. And it smells so fresh and just instantly brings you into a spring summer mood, which is so nice after such a long winter. Let's just season with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we'll stir it through again. And it's that simple. That is the base of our tart. What we're going to do is spoon this mixture into the cases, and then we'll add in everything else. Okay, let's do this. So I'm just spooning in a little bit of the mixture here and filling it up about halfway. We've got 6 of these tarts, so there's plenty of this for everyone. Perfect. And now we're going to fill the tarts with the sunblush tomato. Bit of that in here. And also some of the artichoke. It's just a case of distributing it evenly and not leaving anybody out. Some of the sunblush again. And then we are going to finish that with these ribbons of courgettes, and you can just twist them around and place them in the tarts. And I've cut different sizes so that you can really play around and make them look as artistic as you like. But really, I think the best way to do this is to not think about it too much and just go with what feels right, and then it doesn't look too overworked, if that makes sense. As you can see, this is all very, very easy and simple. You do not have to be a chef to make this dish. It's just about putting things together and having the flavors that just create this really elegant and simple little dish. So I've preheated the oven to 180 degrees, which is 160 fan, and these are going to bake in there for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we will finish off with some of the mozzarella. I'm so pleased with how the tarts turned out, and they are really delicious served either hot or cold. Now the next thing that I want to make for our very glamorous picnic is a Parmesan and asparagus tart. And again, I'm making your life very easy with this recipe because I'm using pre-made rolled out puff pastry. So this comes in a box, you just unroll it and then you bake it in the oven and it's done. So it's very, very easy. You don't have to mess around with the sometimes difficult task of making your own pastry. So I am just going to go ahead and prick the pastry with a fork all over. And then what we will do is we will transfer it to a baking sheet and bake it in the oven. And whilst it's baking, I'll have some asparagus steamed, and then I'm going to show you how to make a very delicious lemon ricotta base for the tart. So let's make the lemon ricotta filling. And again, this is so easy. We're just going to mix all of the ingredients together and whisk, and that is it. So we're going to start with some ricotta, then Parmesan, we've got 1 egg, which I'm popping in here. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. We've got lemon zest. And then we're going to use about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So there we go. So we'll leave this to one side now, and once the pastry has cooled, we'll spread it over, and then we're going to add our asparagus on top, and we're done. So my pastry is golden brown and puffed up a little bit, so that is ready. I've left it to cool for about 15 minutes, and my asparagus is beautifully bright green, so I steamed this for about 3 minutes. It's still got some bite to it, and now I'm going to just take some of this olive oil and drizzle over. Also adding a little bit of salt. And what we will do now is we're going to put on this lemon and ricotta dressing on top of the pastry. So I'm just going to start in the middle, and we want to try to leave about 1 inch border all the way around so that it doesn't spill over the sides. So we're just literally spreading it on like this, trying to get it as even as possible. It smells very fresh. You can smell the lemon, which is very, very fresh and summery. And now we can just take the asparagus tips and arrange them so that they're meeting in the middle, like that. And we'll go down the whole thing until it's covered. I'm going to just brush the crust, the exposed crust, with olive oil. And yes, I'm using a paintbrush. I still haven't managed to get myself a proper brush, which is inexcusable. So if anybody wants to send me one, please do, because I need one. So yeah, I'm just going to brush this with the olive oil, and then we are pretty much done. It just needs to go into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes again, and that is it. As you can see, it really was super simple and easy, but it is such a crowd pleaser. Delicious flaky pastry and beautiful crisp asparagus with the lemon and cheesy filling, which is just beautiful. So okay, the asparagus tart is ready. All that's left to do is just to sprinkle, final sprinkling of salt, and then another heap of Parmesan, just to finish it off and give it that extra touch of luxury. And that is it. So simple and easy, but a real delicious dish to serve at your picnic. Now the last dish that we're going to do is a dip, and I'm going to make it in the blender. And again, this is another simple one. We're going to add all the ingredients to the blender, whiz it up, and that is that. What I'm going to do is I'll start by adding the cream cheese into the blender. Then we have some sour cream. It's going in there. Mayonnaise. We want to put in about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. A bit more. I've got some capers which are going in. And finally, we want to put in just the hint of some Tabasco sauce. So I'm just going to put in a little bit of about a half a teaspoon of Tabasco sauce. There we go. There we go. Touch more. Spice things up a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to whiz these together just a little bit, just to get them blended through. But what we don't want is to blend it too much. We don't want it to be very loose. We want a quite thick paste still. So I'm just going to go back in here and mix things around a little bit so the blade can get in. Give it another go. Okay, I think that is good. So now we are going to add in the salmon, and then I've got some dill and chives, and that will be everything in. So good handful of chives, and the same again with the dill. Now I'm just going to push this down into the blade so that the blade can get everything around there. Again, I'm going to pulse it, but I want to keep it quite chunky. So it will just be a case of finely dicing the salmon a little bit. Now it does work better if you have a proper food processor. I don't have one. I lost some of the attachments to mine, so I need to replace it. So with this blender, you need to be, because it's more for smoothies and things, you have to keep pushing the ingredients down into the blades, which is okay. Just a little bit more time consuming. And actually I think it's done. So this is ready now. The salmon is still in chunks and we've got a nice paste for dipping. And what I do is I use carrots, celery sticks and other vegetables for dipping, and it's really beautiful for a picnic. And that is it. Our 3 dishes are ready. It was completely stress-free, and you know, it's a little bit nicer and more special than taking a normal picnic of sandwiches and snacks. So my other friends are creating their own recipes to bring to the picnic. All of the recipes at the picnic are going to be on my blog, nicholasfairford.com. I'll link that in the description so you can click it and go ahead and look at them. And yes, that's it. So as you can see, it was super easy. Anyone can do these recipes, and it will really just give you a nice, beautiful picnic that you wouldn't usually have. I'm just going to head on over now to the garden to meet some friends for the picnic. We have a little residential garden for residents of this local area, and so it's very peaceful, calm and beautiful. So yeah, we're going to go there. Come and join us and see how we set up the picnic. I really hope that you've enjoyed this week's episode and it's inspired you to create your own picnic. I know this picnic has been a little bit fancy, but again I really wanted to create a special occasion after being locked down for so long. So I will see you next week. Until then, have a really great weekend and a wonderful week ahead. Bye bye.